Hello everyone. So this is an Ari, and got a bit of a weird one today. This is a pile that I kind of threw together at the start of the season, with the intention of like I just want to play Aglais and try something new, and it actually did a lot better than I was expecting. So I was going to do a video earlier for this, but I'll talk about it in a bit. Kind of not been uploading a whole lot, so this has been a little bit delayed, but the deck's finally here. In terms of like how it works, it's very straightforward. I'll explain it like in this sort of intro bit how it works, and I think probably once you've seen like one game, you'll understand sort of what's going on. So I'm probably gonna be just I got a few things I want to sort of rant and rave about, so a little less analytical and a bit more general stuff coming up, I guess. But just before I start, I just want to say that I'm going to be running a charity stream on the 13th of November. So that's in, what will that be at the moment? A bit under 3 weeks, 2 weeks and a bit, something like that. Um, and yeah, it's going to be 24-hour stream, raising money for a charity called Mind. So if you're not from the UK, Mind is a mental health charity and very cliche, but it's sort of very close to my heart. And when I was thinking about who I wanted to raise money for, it was kind of the obvious choice for me. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. In terms of what we're gonna do, I think we'll probably play a bit of Gwen. Gonna try and get the boys together, play a bit of Among Us. I've not actually played Among Us with the whole group on stream, so yeah, you can see the degenerates I spend my time talking to. Um, I'll probably take some like time doing like a just chatting section, so I'll talk about why I'm doing uh fundraising for like this charity and just talk about like the charity in general and like why it's important. And yeah, so yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. If you can sort of swing by during the stream, I'm sure I'm going to need some emotional support, especially getting towards the back end of the stream. I think I'm going to be losing my mind. So that would be appreciated. Obviously, if you want to donate to the charity, that would be much appreciated. I don't. I nearly brought out the nearly brought out another cliche of it's definitely a worthy cause, but yeah, I don't think there's much more I need to say really. Is that it's an amazing charity and they fully deserve as much support as they can get, which is kind of why I'm doing this. So yeah, if you could anything you can do would be much appreciated. Um, yeah, so I'll just get into the deck. I'll talk a bit more about like the streaming stuff during the games. So the deck. I was having a little big brain deck building session at the start of the season. I was sort of thinking about I want to play a Glace, so that's your round three sorted. You've got your own interactivity with like Sienna, a Glace, Thunderbolt, figures to protect Sienna, and right there you've got what's that like 5 cards sorted. So I was thinking right to get to that point we need to be winning round one. A lot of people tend to go the dwarves route, so you can use tempering to boost your Aglais. And I played that deck, and like that deck is really good, but I wanted to try like a different approach, so I went for Deadeye Ambush, like Find Death. Um, because the change where they changed the first spawn from the prologue is a Venosios Commander, not a Deadeye, is actually really good. Setting up an engine straight away is really nice. So the general idea is we play Find Death, use some of the decent bronze elves, pull out Aylor in, win round one at all costs, job done. Then you just drive past, you go into a round three, you get set up to play a massive Aglais. With this setup, like without say like minors or like additional buffs onto Aglais, if you can get Sienna, double Thunderbolt, and pull Aglais with Isengrim's Council, it'll be a nice clean 60 point Aglais, which is most of the time is going to be enough to win you your round 3. So in round 1, we're looking to do like find death, get out the round, win the round so we can get last say, Aglais round 3, job's done. And it actually went a lot better than I expected. In general, I thought this was going to be a like 20% win rate kind of list. I was really just playing it for a bit of fun, but it seemed to do quite decent. It was really quite consistent, even when we missed like Find Death and Aneromancy in round 1, so we're kind of struggling. We were able to kind of pull it off with the bronze cards we're playing, because obviously this is like a super top heavy deck, because you kind of need a lot. Basically these 4, arguably 5, are like necessary, so it does mean you're missing out on provisions bottom end. Very polarized list. But if you can get Find Death down, if you go in first, you can use Saber, which will trigger the second part of Find Death, which then means your Ailurin's going to come out because you'll have 5 elves on the board. So a lot of the time, because most decks aren't looking to put down huge amount of resources in round 1, it can usually secure you the round. With the bonus of now being having a commander on the board, it works like an engine, so that's really, really nice. And a lot of the time, it's just enough to get you out the round. If you can like squeeze in things like Circle of Life or like Hawker Smuggler in that round 1 with an Aglais in hand to just get a couple of cheeky extra points in there, it's not too bad at all. And you also, like, in terms of the leader ability, it can be used in round 1 if you kind of need to get more elves on the board to get Ailurin out. Say you Find Death gets heat waved or something like that. If you don't need to use them, that's great. You can just use them with Aglais in round 3 as just like uninteractive points. You play your Aglais last say, use your leader ability, and it's just 9 points on top, which is obviously really nice. So if you haven't played Aglais before, firstly, what are you doing? Because it's so fun. At the end of the turn, doubles the amount of boost on self. So you're looking to stack as much boost on Aglais as you possibly can before the end of the turn. And Sienna will repeat the ability of Aglais. However, the interesting thing is that, say, if you get like 10 points of boost onto Aglais, it won't be that it'll add another 10, then add another 10. It'll check after the first doubling. So, say you boost your Aglais to 14, so boosted by 10. It'll see that it has 10 boost, it'll double it, so you get 20 boost. Then the like second deploy, because of Sienna, clicks, and it sees it has 20 boost, and so goes up to 40 boost. So it basically means that if Sienna goes off, it actually quadruples the boost, which is absolutely insane. It basically means that Thunderbolt's playing for 24 each, which is kind of nuts, which is why if you can get your figures down and get Sienna behind that, you're laughing, because yeah, if Sienna goes off, Aglais just goes absolutely huge. Usually like I said, like 60 points. If you can get like a miner down and get another 2 points onto her, those 2 points are basically 8 points. Like, it's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. And I think it's best shown like in the games. So I'll make sure the games I put in are like ones where I actually get the Aglais off, and I've actually found like I can quite consistently get it off. I think I played like 30 odd games with this, and I missed it twice. Like, obviously sometimes you miss a Thunderbolt or you miss Sienna or something, but in terms of getting Aglais down and getting her like up to at least like 25-30 points, I think I've only missed that like twice. So a lot more consistent than I was expecting, and that's mainly Aneromancy and Thinning and Council that really help with that. So Aglais is the only Dryad, sorry. So Isengrim's Council is guaranteed to find her, and Isengrim's Council boosts by 2, which actually means it boosts by 8 if Sienna goes off. So yeah, deck feels very consistent. So probably enough rambling. There's going to be plenty of rambling during the games, so get on with us, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, I'm guessing this is a similar.
Don't make me laugh.
It would make sense, so we'll just see if we get our draws. Think what was I going to talk about? First thing I wanted to talk about was Cyberpunk. Oh, Cyberpunk. So let me just do my mulligans and then I'll get rambling. These draws are ideal. Yeah, not ideal draws for sure. Yeah, so if you haven't seen, Cyberpunk's been delayed again, which is kind of bad, considering we've had a lot of delays so far, and yeah, there's been a lot of a lot of complaints about it, which I mean is understandable. So if you haven't seen it, it was meant to be coming out on the 19th of November. It's now coming out on the 10th of December, and I'm kind of in two minds about this because yeah, I took I took some time off work for the release, mainly because I currently had I had loads of time to take off work because I'm working from home at the moment, so I've got no reason to take time off. Like, I've got nothing to do, so I've just kind of been in a situation like, well, I may as well just take this off for the fun of it. And yeah, so I'd booked a couple of days off work for the release, and they moved it, so obviously I'm not too pleased. But there's been a lot of big outcry when it kind of comes to CDPR in general, and I think it's somewhat unwarranted. I completely understand people's annoyance at it, because it's fully understandable, because the delays have been so frequent. But I think it's important to consider that it's more important that the game is in a state where everyone's really happy with it, rather than rush it out. Because if you look at games for example, No Man's Sky, so No Man's Sky came out and was kind of bad, kind of really bad, to be honest. And yeah, there was a big period with that game where it just wasn't good in the eyes of anyone, and I would much rather we have a sort of finished game that they've taken a lot longer on to make sure it's there, rather than just rush it out. So I don't mind the delay, provided it's going to result in a better game overall, if that makes sense. And definitely I completely understand the annoyances, because I feel it myself, but it is important to put it in context, that it is just a game, which sounds a little bit dweeby, but it is just a game, and that's important to remember, that it really isn't the end of the world. That the game's delayed, and definitely if you're that annoyed that you've been I've seen they've been getting death threats and things like that, stuff like that just isn't on. And yeah, it's really important to put in context that it really isn't the end of the world. And shit, we've been waiting a long time for this game. We can wait another 21 days. But yeah, I completely understand the complaints at the moment, because I feel them myself. Let me just... This hand's actually really good, because we can boost Aglais. But I'm still very excited for the game. Oof, that's what we wanted. Can't believe we won that round. But yeah, we're gonna get Cyberpunk. Bit later than we would have wanted, but it's coming. It's coming, boys. It's coming eventually. Hand's a little clumsy, but we can still keep it. We still got another turn to fix it. And we got a boost on Aglais, which is really nice. So I'm actually gonna have to whip out my list of things. I got down a list of things I wanted to talk about, and I've already forgotten after Cyberpunk. Oh yeah, forgot about the charity stream. Yeah, so I'm gonna as I was sort of saying about having like loads of time off banked with work. I had like 14 days to go. I was like, what am I gonna use this for? So it's my birthday on the 9th. Of course, forget fine deaf now. Yeah, it's my birthday on the 9th, and okay. So I just basically took the week of the 9th off and was thinking about what to do, and I was like, been wanting to do a 24-hour charity stream for a while, so yeah, we're gonna do that. In terms of what we're gonna do during the stream, I think I'm still sort of like planning out roughly what I want to do with it. But I think generally I'm gonna be doing what's expected, playing games, would you believe it? So we'll play some Gwen, we'll get a bit of Hades in there. Fun, man. That's no fun. Yeah, we'll get a bit of Hades in there. Probably a bit of Monster Hunter. I'm trying to convince the boys to get some Among Us going. And yeah, I kind of want to use the time like valuably. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, just use the time like for something constructive, if that makes sense. And so I was thinking about like what charity to do it for, and I think sort of Mind came to me straight away. So it's like if you're not from England, like Mind is a mental health charity. They do like a lot of work for, would you believe it, like mental health issues, and it's like a charity that kind of means a lot to me. Also, that's messed up. An Osseous Commander, which is annoying. But yeah, it's a very important charity to me. I won't like go rambling on about my own sort of issues because I'm gonna talk about it on stream and stuff. But basically, yeah, I've had sort of issues in the past, and like still actually with depression and anxiety and sort of things like that. And the work they do is like really, really important. So yeah, it's kind of a charity that straight away I was like, yeah, I want to do something for mine for sure. So yeah, I'd really appreciate sort of anything anyone wants to do. Like if you just come in to watch the stream, like that's more than enough. Obviously, if you want to donate to a charity, that would be amazing. But I just wanted to kind of do something really. And I don't really have much else I can do beyond sit here and mold. So if we can raise some money, have a good time and stuff, well, I think it's all good. I think in general, like, I'm still working on the sort of structure for it, like how I'm gonna sort of run the 24 hours. Definitely gonna be a bit of a challenge actually staying awake. But the sort of general idea is probably gonna play sort of my staple stuff. We'll play some Gwen, we'll play some Among Us, get some Hades going. I had a couple others in mind, but they've actually blanked. Sorry, it's really early. I'm recording like first thing at the moment before I start work. But yeah, I'm just gonna do stuff like that. Gonna take some time to do like a bit of like just chatting and kind of talk about a few things, which sounds so ominous. Promise it's not that deep. I just want to talk about like the charity and sort of my own issues with it and everything, and like why it's not so important basically.
My lumbago is acting up.
Oop. Alright, let's see if this Sienna sticks. If Sienna sticks here, it'll be a miracle. I mean, I could boost it. But I guess if they have 1 damage, they'll have more. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. What was I saying? Yeah, we'll play some games. We'll do some just chatting. Oh my god, I forgot they had that. Do some just chatting stuff, and yeah, it should be fun. Definitely be fun.
Oh dear. Have I something?
Alright, I actually don't think we win this. I think we would have won that if I actually had a brain and I used miner there. Yeah, it feels bad, man. Would have won that if I'd used the miner charge. So yeah, the deck's good if you actually think about what you're doing. Guerrilla tactics is interesting. I'll have to see what's coming out here. Yeah, so at the end of the last game, I was talking about the charity stream and stuff, wasn't I? Let me just sort this hand. So we'll drop the miner and probably a Bowman. Hand's okay. Could be definitely better. We want to basically dump our hand, so we can get to a point where Hawk and Smuggler's hitting Aglais. That's why I wanted to get rid of Miner, because I wouldn't really want to play Miner in general. So yeah, I was talking about the charity stream, wasn't I? So getting distracted. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna talk about it like too much, but sort of recently, I've been having like a bit of a rough time. I don't even know if I've actually mentioned this on stream or anything like that before, but like I do have depression, and like I'm not like, don't really need to sort of worry about me or anything. I'm on like good meds now, and like doing pretty good, but it's kind of the case with it that like no matter how good you're doing and like how well medicated you are and everything like that, you just have off days, and it's like kind of to be expected. And I've just been having a few like bad days recently, so I've kind of dialed back the streaming a little bit, which obviously I didn't particularly want to do, but it's kind of important to like not push things, if that makes sense, because certainly like when if I'm going to stream, for example, it's not like really going to be much fun for anyone, because if I'm not doing too great, like I'm really not going to be that oh my my alarm's going off. I really won't be that fun like on stream or anything. Videos just aren't going to be of the same quality, so I started taking a bit of time for myself. Been doing like a bit more art and just really relaxing, just trying to take a bit of the weight off. I'm actually gonna have to dump my leader ability here. I'm feeling a little better. Like had a stream last night, and that seemed to go really well. I was really happy with the sort of stream last night. Pretty fun. And so I think it's probably going to be a bit more of a return to usual broadcasting at the moment, and it's kind of like spared me to think about like what I'm doing in terms of like uploads and things like that, because I am very aware that like at the moment my uploads have been like very intermittent. So yeah, I was sort of thinking about it like, do I want a schedule, because I sort of have like a like quote unquote streaming schedule, but I typically don't actually stick to it because it doesn't really work out for me. So I'm basically gonna strip away that schedule. I try and like in general stream on the days that I have for my schedule, but real life hits, man, and like I get busy or I can't like find the time or whatever. I think this might get a pass out of them, which would be really good. And so with uploads, like I'd like to be sort of doing like an upload like once a week would be ideal. This isn't by any means like a sort of promise that uploads are going to be more regular. It is very much going to depend on like how I'm doing at the time. But yeah, it's kind of how I want to be doing it, kind of moving forwards, be a little bit more consistent. Because I feel like one upload a week isn't too bad. There may be more, maybe less, but yeah, we'll try and stick to that. Because I think that'd be I think that's very doable. I don't think it's like overloading me by any means to have like one upload a week. So yeah, I'll try and stick to that, and we'll see how it goes. Also, oh my god, what are these draws? So good. So we want to find like really these two. So I'll chuck one of those. Because we haven't hit Council or Thunderbolt, I kind of want to hold on to Aglais. Yeah, because we don't want to be missing the other Thunderbolt. So, oh mamma mia, what's going on? So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, like with uploads and stuff. I appreciate that it's a little vague, definitely a little bit vague. Sort of saying like might be more uploads, might not. We shall see. But I think that's kind of all I can promise at the moment. I'll sort of go into all of like this kind of stuff a lot more, like on the stream and stuff, because I think it's a bit more applicable there. But I think the last thing, like, to sort of round out I was going to talk about was like Gwent in general. Gwent in general at the moment, because it's in a bit of a weird spot. So if you watch the Open, they sort of did like a state of the game kind of thing. I thought that was quite interesting. Mainly because it really didn't say a whole lot, to be honest. They did show like the new draft mode, which I was really impressed by. I really like the look of the new draft mode. I think it's definitely something I'll have to try. My initial concern, sort of looking at it, was like, seems a little weird, mainly because of how leader abilities work. I feel like it's gonna, sort of in general, be a little bit difficult to balance, in that like some leader abilities just don't synergize, so it might be a little awkward, but I think it's way too early to say. And I feel a bit weird like in general with like playing the game at the moment, and this kind of comes down to like, I mean, I'm not at like the sort of like looking at like opens kind of thing, but I always want that there as like an option, because I think, like, say if this season or like next season, for example, was like a sort of crown point situation or anything like that, I'd definitely be looking at it like I'd really like to be pushing for this kind of thing. Whereas like at the moment, there's really not that option there, and like kind of long term, I would definitely like to be looking at like getting into these sort of higher ranked things, if that makes sense. God, this guy's so uninteractive. Okay. And yeah, so yeah, I want to sort of look at going into some of the more higher ranked stuff and not having that competitive edge to it. Has taken it a bit out for me. I think they know what's coming. I mean, I respect them seeing it coming, and that's not. But yeah, at the moment, game's in a bit of a weird state. I'll probably just talk for this last little bit. Yeah, we'll round it off there. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to say, like, I feel like they've maybe set it up a little weird, having seasons that don't matter for the very top end. For most players, it like doesn't really matter, but certainly anyone who's looking at the competitive scene is in a bit of a weird spot. So I don't know what the solution to that is. And I think I'm really just going to take this time to really just try and improve at the game. So when it comes to like the competitive kind of time, I can sort of make pushes because I want to be getting into at least one open as a sort of goal for myself. So I think this has gone on long enough. I've ranted and raved for long enough. So if you've stuck it out this long, I really appreciate it. And yeah, remember charity stream coming up. So yeah, if you could swing by for that, would really appreciate it. So yeah, I appreciate you all watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.